Pisces, welcome to your reading for January 2023. That's going to take me a while to get used to. In your first position here, we are going to look at just your general energies for the month of January. And you have this reflecting pool card. It says stillness on it. You also have the High Priestess. I mean, that is your card, but it is also a card of reflecting and kind of thinking about maybe where you want to go in your life. Yeah, I think you're thinking about new beginnings, with this Page of Pentacles coming up here as well. I think that you are definitely going to be thinking about where to, and you're probably reflecting on as well, where to put your heart. We're not necessarily talking about love here, Pisces, but it could be. I would just say, that this Ace of Cups is talking about like the things that fulfill you in general, or, where you could put your energy to find fulfillment. And, I feel like that's kind of like what you are thinking about here with this energy. So definitely pretty interesting. It looks like a good reading. You do have the Tower. Everybody always panics when, one card that's bad shows up. But again, I wouldn't worry too much about that. And again, we're going to talk about it in a minute. But you have this reflecting pool card. Again, it says stillness on it. I think you need to go deep at this time, Pisces. I feel like you need to look at the things like, that you really want in your life. I'm not talking about any one thing, but I think this, we're still in retrograde in January. We're going to be in the shadow for a while. So, you could probably say the entire month of January, right? Even though it's not retrograde for the entire month of January. But I would say it might be a good time to go deep within yourself to find the things that fulfill you. If you don't know what those things are, then you need to start exploring. I always get comments from tons of people that are like, I don't know what makes me happy. I don't know. Like, well, you better figure it out, right? It's like, you're stuck here. There's only one way out, right? And we're all getting out of here the same way. So, what I would say is you better figure it out. And, again, there's so many things you can do. You can try new things. You can try hobbies. And, really, I think if you think about it, you know what brings you happiness. The problem is maybe your judgments of what brings you happiness, because maybe you're afraid of being judged by other people. Maybe you're afraid that you won't make money or if you do the things that bring you happiness. But that's exactly what we need to do. We need to do those things that maybe we're afraid of. You even have this risk card. I can't even see the whole card, and I know exactly what that card is from here. So I would say that I feel like there's a risk you need to take to be happy in your life, right? And this has nothing to do with anyone else. I want to stress that, because you have the High Priestess, the Nine of Cups, and the Four of Wands. Yeah, this could be marriage, but what I would say is that, the High Priestess is about trusting your intuition. So I feel like you need to trust your intuition at this time, number one. But I also do feel that you could be in this period of reflecting, of spending time on your own, of thinking with yourself, and I think that's perfectly acceptable. She has this crown on her head, and it's 3 stages of the moon. It kind of represents the fact that she's thinking of the beginning and middle and end of everything that she wants in her life, but she is projecting like into the future, not in a bad way. She is imagining exactly how she wants things to go in her life. She is creating her own reality by doing that. And here you go. You have the Nine of Cups, literally the card of creating your own reality. And I say that because Nine of Cups is a card of wishes and wish fulfillment, but it's deeper than that. The Nine of Cups is about bathing in an energy. It's about kind of really sitting in the energy of the things that you want before you have them. So if you want love, you have to be in love before you can have love. And people are always like, how do you do that? And I'm always like, go love a dog. Go love a cat. Go love nature. Go love your mom. I don't know. Something else. And that will bring you love, right? But you have to be in the energy of what you want first. For you, really, I feel like the energy that's kind of like coming in for you is abundance. You do have the Four Wands here. Some of you could be walking away from a connection here. It could be a marriage, because we go here, Four Wands, Fool, Lovers, to the Eight of Cups, which is like, choosing your own fulfillment. So again, I feel like some of you, right at the beginning of the year here, if you're not already doing this, you could just be choosing like yourself. You could be just choosing your own happiness. I'm pretty sure I said this to you in your yearly reading. It seems to be a focus for you, Pisces. With the High Priestess, you have the Patience card. Yeah, see, I feel like you're willing to be patient. I really get glow-up vibes here, Pisces. I feel like you're kind of like understanding your value, what you bring to the table, so to speak. And, I feel for some of you, you're kind of like, especially in love, you could just be saying, I'm not, if someone comes in and they can match my effort and my value, fine. But if they can't, then I'm out of here. So I feel like you're kind of being patient, but I feel like you're being patient this month, like specifically. I do not think you are going to maintain your patience this year. I don't mean that in a bad way. I think it's a good thing because I think you're like speeding towards success. With the Nine of Cups, you have the fulfillment card. There you go. Definitely a lot of fulfillment coming in for you. I feel there's a lot of success and abundance coming in for you in general. This card is Sagittarius, so it wouldn't surprise me if you found a lot of fulfillment or abundance or money or whatever in doing things long distance. Could be like long distance business, could be traveling for business. I see a lot of you could be doing that this whole entire year, not just right now. With the Four of Wands, you have this Enterprise card, Jupiter in Aries. I would not surprise me. I've said this before. It would not surprise me if you meet the person. If you do not already have a person, it wouldn't surprise me if you meet the person you're going to marry this year that you could marry. We have Jupiter in Aries now, and this card is Jupiter in Aries. For a lot of you Pisces, based off your birth chart, depending when you were born, it probably makes sense. Jupiter could be going over your Venus or even your Jupiter if you were born in like 88. I've said this before, so some of you could really be meeting a person. That's not the only thing that can bring marriage into your life, but, it's definitely one of the things, so it wouldn't surprise me. I also feel that a lot of you are very committed to success this year in business and money, and I think you're going to be making money. Next, in the area of what you don't see coming, you have this mending card. So some of you could be healing like a connection. Can we see here? And you have this by the book card as well. I feel like you're saying there is no book like on how to do this. Like, if you've ever had one of those moments in your life where it's like there is no instruction manual to for doing something. Those are the words that are popping into my head. So for some of you, could be healing like a connection, but maybe you feel like there isn't like an instruction manual on how to heal the connection, if that makes sense. For others, I feel you could just be healing yourself, but I kind of feel like you're doing it your own way. And again, this is very Pisces this year. This makes perfect sense to me. You have the Page of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the Fool here. I do feel that there could be like an apology or communication coming in for you in the month of January, especially if you dealt with like an earth sign. Could be very surprising because, we go across to the Nine of Wands to the Tower. So it could be like a little bit shocking. Maybe this is a person you never thought you would hear from again. For others, I just feel like there could be a lot of good news coming in for you. I also feel like, again, I want to stress, Pisces, that I do not think things are going to be perfect. But what I would say is, just judging by this reading here and also the yearly readings that I've been doing for you, it seems to me like again, I'm not going to say that things are easy, but I think that there's just like a little bit better success, pretty much in anything. Even if you're like, you could be trying to learn how to jump rope. I don't care. Like what you're doing, it's like a little bit easier. Maybe it's not easy. I want to stress that. Like I said, nothing in life is easy, but it just seems to me like there's just like a little bit better of a flow, like in the way that you find success or how you do it. Again, for a lot of you, again, it's not easy because maybe it hasn't been easy. Again, I think this success has come through gaining knowledge or wisdom or whatever you want to call it. You have the Ace of Cups here. Definitely could be love coming in for you. Again, I feel for some of you, there could be a person, like if you are heartbroken, that could be healing your heart. I mean, going to that Eight of Cups tells me that some of you have become more withdrawn, or maybe you're a little bit more closed off in love, and could be due to past experiences. But, I feel like there could be a person who really kind of like warms your heart here. I feel like this person, I also feel like saying you don't meet this person how you've met anyone else. So like if you have a story, how you always meet people, maybe you always meet people online, maybe you've met everyone on Tinder, maybe you've met everyone, somewhere else. Like, I feel like you meet this person in a completely different way. So if you're like asking, how will I know who this person is? I feel like it's a completely different love story. And that's like the thing that really stands out to me here. It could be an Aquarius as well. Because what's interesting is like, I'm pretty sure I said the same thing to Aquarius. I don't really remember, but I had like a very similar message to that. So, take it. But I also am getting Earth here as well. You have the Fool. So taking a leap of faith. So I feel like there could be a leap of faith for you that you could be taking in a new direction, especially in work or business. I feel this could be very successful for you. But again, I feel like what's like a little bit unexpected is that there could be love coming in for you that heals you. I also feel there's like unexpected, success, but it's not like unexpected. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Choices card. I would just pick the new path in general. You don't have any twos here, but, I would just say pick the new option in all areas of your life. I feel like new is going to lead to the most success. You can see here that this person is like stuck here. They have a sword in their heart here as well. So I would just move in new directions is what I feel like that's saying. With the Ace of Cups, You have this intuition card. I do feel like you could be attracting someone very intuitive. Again, it could be a Virgo as well, I'm getting, or this person could have Virgo in their chart. Could be any earth sign, but Virgo really stands out to me. Also, fire. It could be a fire sign. You've been getting a fire sign, and Scorpio have stand out to me here as well. So, take it how it resonates, but I feel like it's someone very intuitive. And I also feel like you have intuitive feelings about them, even if you're saying, like, oh, I don't want love. I don't want someone in my life. I feel like you'll want this person. With the Fool card, you have this bluff card. This is like about calling someone's bluff. Number one, I would be careful like who you tell people, like who you tell things to. Number one, like especially your business ideas and things like that. Number two, I kind of am getting here, this is about calling someone's bluff, but that's not what I'm getting. I'm getting here something about planning is popping into my head. Like I feel like you need to, like especially in work or business, maybe you need to come up with better plans or kind of focus on having a plan. Maybe you don't have a plan. I kind of feel this energy of being overwhelmed. Like I'm a Pisces, I totally get it. It's like I have a million ideas, I get overwhelmed, and then I don't do them, right? So I feel like it would be better for you to like pick one thing. I feel like I've said this to you recently as well. Like pick one thing, have a plan on how you're going to do it, and then do it. Like stick to it. I feel like you need to stick to things here, because again, I feel like a major part of this reading is changing your story, and you could have people in your life who are like, oh, here's one of Pisces' crazy ideas again, right? And they're just like, they just write it off. So I feel like it's time for you to start like proving that you can actually do the things you say, which you can. You're like more than capable of doing the things that you say you can do, but I feel like you actually have to do it, is what this is saying, plain and simple. Next, in the area of what's coming towards you, you have this risk card. It says, success will find you. The odds are in your favor. Right, there you go. It says, it is when you step out into the unknown that you truly start to live. You have to do that. I mean, I said it in, I don't know, like 2020 on a podcast. I said, everything you want is on the other side of something you've never done before. I definitely feel like that's true for you. It says, it's not okay to have all the answers. They will come to you when you need them. Exactly. I feel like you need to just get started on something and stop overthinking something. For others, I feel like you could definitely be taking, I feel like what's coming towards you could be love, and you could be taking a risk to open up to love here, of course. You have the Nine of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Lovers here. I do feel like you could be a little bit wounded, or could be like in this wounded warrior position. But again, I would like work on your healing. You have that stillness card at the beginning, so seems to me like it could be a very good year for healing, or for resting, relaxing, recovering, or doing the things that make you feel healed in general. And that's exactly what I'd be focusing on here. I also feel it's like an amazing year for experimentation, trying new things. So anything new, again, anything you've never done before, again, everything you want is on the other side of something you've never done before. I feel like you have to like break the madness here, get away from the insanity, especially if you feel like you're on a hamster wheel. I feel like just doing different things will kind of get you off the hamster wheel. You have the King of Wands here. I feel like this is you. I'm pretty sure in your part 2 reading of 2020 for 2023 that I said that you were like the King of Wands. And yes, I understand that this is fire, but I feel like this is how you are presenting yourself this year. You're presenting yourself as the King of Wands, bold, assertive, action-oriented, ready to take action, very entrepreneurial energy as well. So I don't think this means you have to have a business, but I feel like you could just be like just very good with your money this year, really focused on taking care of your money, but very action-oriented with this card. I also feel like you could be attracting a fire sign who's like that, because we have the Lovers as well. So again, this is coming up in the area of what's coming towards you, so clearly there could be love. I also do feel there's a choice, because you have that choice card. This card traditionally was about being at a crossroads, having a choice to make. I would pick the new path, is what I would say. I would also say, I really feel like you need to listen to your higher self more. This right here is your higher self angel, and there are these clouds right here, so they might not exactly see what this higher self angel is communicating to them, those people. But they're like being guided together. I feel, number one, that you're meeting a person who you're meant to be with, like you're being guided together. Some of you might already have this person in your life. But I also feel that, like if you're making decisions in work or business, that you're being guided towards something. I feel fear here. Like if you've been, I kind of feel this fear of if you've been doing something for a very long time, like in work or business, it's like the fear could be making the change. And like, what if I mess up? Or, what if I am, it's kind of like you don't want to you're trying to avoid grass is greener thinking, is what I feel here, Pisces. You're like trying to say, I don't want to just rush into this next thing thinking that it's going to be better. I kind of feel like you're being responsible, but maybe also playing it a little bit too safe. So I feel like you're ready for this like new opportunity. And again, you have that card that says it's okay to not have all the answers. Again, we don't know anything. None of us know anything. Right? I don't know anything. Trust me. So it's like we can't know everything, and I feel like you just have to kind of get started. With that Nine of Wands, you have this caution card. I feel like you're maybe being a little bit overly cautious in relationships. You do have the Tower right next to it, but we're going to look into that. I kind of feel like this could have to do, right here, we have the caution card, but here, going up to the Tower, we have this bluff card. So you might be like calling someone's bluff, especially, Mercury retrograde could be like an ex coming back or something like that. And so you could be like calling someone's bluff, and, that could be causing a Tower moment, but I would be cautious of anyone from the past with that caution card, obviously. With the King of Wands, you have this fortune card. See, I feel there are great fortunes coming in for you. I do feel for some of you that you might have to like rebuild to increase your fortunes right now, or you could be you could feel like you're rebuilding something with that Tower showing up. Again, to me, the Tower isn't always bad. To me, it could be anything. We're going to look into it in a minute. But I do feel like some of you might have to kind of like rebuild something or start over, but there's great fortune coming in for you. Could be attracting someone with money as well, or success. With the Lovers, here you go. You have this excitement card. See, if you're meeting a new person, I feel like they're just too exciting. Or you're just too excited to be around them, and I feel like they're too excited to be around you. I get like a lot of fear here. Maybe you've been like love bombed in the past, or maybe someone was, oh, I love you, 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 and then they ran away. And maybe this person does something similar, but I don't see them walking away. I see this being very good for you, actually, Pisces. So, that's what I'll say there. At the end here for messages from your future self, you have this concern card and this mature man card. Some of you could be dealing with an older person. You could be concerned about that. Like, are they going to walk away? Or are they going to run away? Like, what are they going to do? For others, it could be like a parent or something that you are concerned about with this energy. So we're going to have to look into it. You have the Tower, the Knight of Cups, Hangman, and the Eight of Cups here. Eight of Cups is like walking away energy. I feel like this is you. I feel like you're walking away from things that no longer serve you. You're really focused on creating your own fulfillment is what I'm getting. Even with that Nine of Cups. Again, you have the Nine of Cups with the fulfillment card clarifying. So it really says to me that you're perfectly fine creating your own fulfillment on your own. That's what I feel you're doing here. I almost feel like you chose a Tower moment here. I kind of feel like your future self is saying, if you chose to have a Tower moment, it's like you need to remind yourself like why you chose that in the first place. And this is not a bad thing. It's like sometimes, it's like you and a person, right? It's like I feel like you chose it. He's diving head first out. I always say he's diving. He knows the tower is falling, so he chooses to create the Tower moment. The other person is surprised. So for some of you, it's like, I feel like you need to remind yourself if you chose to walk away from a person or break up with a person or whatever, I feel like you need to remind yourself like why you did that in the first place, because, maybe you're feeling nostalgic, or maybe you're thinking about the past. And that's what I feel like this is talking about. You do have the Knight of Cups with the Hangman. I do feel like there could be like a Knight in Shining Armor coming in for you if you want love. Could be a Scorpio I'm getting here as well with that Tower. But I do feel there's like a Knight in Shining Armor. Bigger than that, though, Pisces, I feel like this is your dreams. The Knight of Cups he's normally like looking into that cup, and he's like dreaming of his future reality. He's dreaming of the things that he wants to create. The Hangman, he's put himself in Hangman mode to gain enlightenment, but I feel like it's time to take the risk, right? He's standing in the desert, but there's water flowing in front of him. The whole point of the Knight of Cups is that he could easily plant seeds in the water in front of him, and they would grow, even though he's in the desert. So you might be, I feel like I've said this to you before, that you might feel like you're in a place in your life where there's no opportunity, but there's actually a ton of opportunity. I would be careful of it, like assuming how things are going to go at this time. I feel this really needs to be like an exploration year for you, where instead of just like assuming, oh, I can't get into this business because it's going to fail. Like, no, maybe not. So I feel like you need to like try things. With the Tower, you have this Coral card. Yeah, I would be careful of the past, for sure. Especially if you have a past person coming back. So yeah, I would just be careful of that. I don't know what else to say there. I would just, block and move on. With the Hangman and the Knight of Cups, you have this Lust card. Definitely a very strong connection coming in for you. I'm wondering if you have a new person and like a past person can sense it, so then they basically don't want you to move on here because you have that Lust card. I get a very convincing energy here. Those are the words that are popping into my head, convincing. Maybe they're trying to convince you to get away from this, but I would be careful of like a past person causing problems in a future relationship. With the Eight of Cups, you have this indecision card. Damn it, Pisces. That's all I have to say to you. Damn it, Pisces. You have that lovers right next to this card here. It's like this angel is very similar to that higher self angel on the lovers. I feel like your angels, your guides are like guiding you in a direction. And I really feel like you need to pay attention here to what you're being guided to and don't second guess yourself. Some of you could have sadness because you did, from the past, because you didn't trust your guidance or, your intuition or whatever the case may be. So definitely something to think about there. But we're going to pull 5 main themes now, and we're going to see what's going on for you. You have this Dark Man card. It says dealings or relationships with a man with dark complexion or hair. Could be any gender. And you have this Love card. So there clearly could be a dark complected, dark colored, dark whatever person. They could have maybe they have black eyes, right? I don't know. Who cares? I feel like it's just a person coming in for you, and I feel like this is just saying it's love. I feel like it's going to be like very fulfilling, a very fulfilling connection. You have this carrot. It says opportunity or windfall. This is your year. This is 2023 for you, Pisces. It's like you have a very good year this year. I would take advantage of it. I would try to get as much attention as you possibly can. Try all your crazy ideas. See what happens. You have this haystack card. It says karma, you will reap what you have sown. Definitely karmic rewards coming in for you. I feel because, you've been through a lot, Pisces, over the years. You have this yoke card says feeling tied down or frustrated. This is in your mind. If you feel this, I feel like you need to set yourself free. There is nothing that can keep you trapped or stuck. And you might be saying, yes, there is. But no, there isn't. You can set yourself free. It's like, people always like to give me examples. Like they'll be like, I have a job and I have to work 18 hours a day and all this other stuff. I'm like, well, you don't have to, and you can go find something else. It's, and people always say it's not that easy. Well, actually it is. It is pretty freaking easy, So I would just do it. And, I feel like that's saying set yourself free. You have this June card. This card is a monthly card. It says June on it. Yes, I know we're in January. You have this chair empty. It says, I feel like someone left your life back in June, or maybe someone checked out back in 2022 in the month of June. And so that could be like what's affecting your life here in this situation. But I really feel like you're moving forward, Pisces. This is a really good reading. I feel there's a ton of fulfillment coming in for you. And that's all I'd be focusing on is your own personal fulfillment. And that will get you everything else that you want. So there you go, Pisces. Looks pretty good. Thank you and again, I would be careful of past people, but thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. And definitely enjoy your month.